Hello guys, welcome back in Goku Manhwa. Let's continue.
We continue from the previous episode as mystery thickens. Shadows swirl across the cavern, unsettling the fleeing crowd. One of them gasped, "Someone help us." Wu Jingchong tightened his grip, fending off an invisible pressure pressing from all sides, veins bulging at his temple. He turned sharply, scanning the dark before calling out, "Hi, Waiu, stop gaping like a fool." He growled, "Go and alert Lady Nauza." Just then, a whip of dark energy slashed at him. Wu Jin-chong twisted away in time. It grazed him, singeing his armor. Still shielding himself from a volley of black flames, he cursed under his breath. Damn, nearly half our scouts are down. If he had used real fire instead of shadow copies, would be ashes already. Parrying another strike aimed at his shoulder, he scowled. But something felt off. Why isn't he drawing from the core flame? His gaze fixated on Kaian Yo Wu, who was eliminating the other clan members with unnerving calm. He doesn't even look winded. Elsewhere, Wan Singo staggered while defending against shifting shadows that came from nowhere. "This is bad," he muttered, inching back until stone pressed into his spine. His body trembled as he whispered, "This pressure is unbearable." Then, as if responding to his weakness, dark blades tore through his guard and rushed toward him. He flinched, expecting agony. "This is how I die." Seconds passed. Slowly, he peeked through one eye, stunned. I'm not dead." He spun his head toward the skirmish, his heart thudding like thunder. That last strike should have ended me. So why not? He raised his eyes to the top of the cavern, the fear in his face melting into wonder. Something's off. There's no damage anywhere. His gaze darted toward a glowing formation across the tunnel. "It's that?" He stared, breath caught, at the radiant ring of ethereal white energy hanging silently in the air. His channeling wind essence through a phantom blade, careful not to destabilize the cavern ceiling. Meanwhile, Chan Yowan paused as Nano Core relayed a new alert. Structural cracks detected. Estimated integrity is severely compromised. Collapse imminent with further disruption. Yowan scanned the jagged passage. "If we can reach the western tunnel, that leads to the forest ridge. If this place caves in now, the 6 sentries and Elder Quan will be trapped for good." Suddenly, a loud boom. Wan Singo started battering the rocky wall opposite them, chunks flying with each furious blow. Yowan's gaze sharpened. That idiot. He's trying to force a collapse. Nano pinged again. Seismic disturbance detected. Probability of total failure. Critical. Wan Singo ignored the danger, continuing to hammer away. Yowan calmly raised 2 fingers. Thin streams of energy spiraled forward, forming piercing wind shards. He called out, "Nano." The system replied instantly, precision lock engaged. Wu Jin-chong and several defenders sprang into action to intercept. He shouted as he rushed in. "Anticipating the attack pattern improves our chances." He added, "We'll keep him occupied." OFF, destroy the breach. Just then, Yi Wun's boots pulsed with blue force, lifting him off the ground. Wu Jin-chong's knuckles turned white around his blade. He let out a cry and lunged. "Even if you are their false god," he thought, "we won't back down." He and a fellow soldier moved in sync, launching a double strike. But before either could land their blades, Kaian Yowan summoned dual phantom blades cloaked in violent crimson light. Before Wu Jin-chong could react, his form shattered into ribbons. In his final thought, he marveled. That stance. It's the lost crescent split. Xion Yao, with fluid speed, swept past like a hurricane, cutting down every enemy in his path without stopping. Nearby, Wan Sango, eyes blazing with defiance, lifted his sword high to slam the tunnel wall again. "If I'm going to die here anyway." But before the blade could fall, Kaian Yowan blinked forward, cleaving him in half. As Wan Sango struggled to speak his dying threat, "I'll drag you into the abyss," Yowan walked past his falling body and murmured without looking back, "Save it for the void." Just then, Dodaman reappeared with a thunderous cry, striking the tunnel wall with monstrous strength. The entire cavern quaked as deep fissures split the stone. A torrent of water erupted through the breach, gushing in with a roar. Amid the deafening collapse, Kaian Yowan stood perfectly still, watching the scene with unreadable calm. Dodaman, laughing like a madman, shouted above the chaos, "This ends here, cursed one. I thought that freak was gone forever. What is that creature doing here?" He raised his axe toward Kyan Yo-woon and roared, "Face me and fall like the rest." No general from the 6 martial provinces ever dared this far. But this body has. Before the last word left his mouth, a deafening crack echoed above. A huge boulder from the ceiling came crashing down, instantly crushing Dodelman into a red smear. The Nano core spoke calmly to Kyan Yo-won. Surface stability has reached critical failure. Seconds later, stone and dirt burst apart as floodwater surged through, pelting down around Yo-won like steel hail. The system alerted again. Immediate collapse detected. Evacuation recommended. Then came the thunder of fast-approaching boots. Voices rang through the tunnel. "Commander!" Hubong and his unit skidded to a stop, lungs heaving. Hubong called out, "Commander, are you hurt?" But then they froze. A gigantic wall of jagged ice blocked the flow of water like a glacier summoned from nothing. At its core, Kyan Yo-won stood, unmoving, arms extended, the power of frost still spiraling from his palms. Hubong and Koinga shivered as they realized what they were seeing. "Commander, is that really?" Kyan Yo-won had summoned a massive vertical ice pillar that stretched from floor to ceiling, trapping the violent flood behind it with sheer elemental force. He tilted his head slightly, voice firm, "Stay back. This structure could fall any second." All eyes rose to the unstable tunnel ceiling above, dust falling as cracks widened. Yo-won continued, "Hubong, there's an old man nearby, not struck by the ice blades. He's important. That's the previous High Elder. Take him and evacuate." Mu stepped forward, lips pressed tight with worry. "What about you, Commander?" Kyan Yo-won gave her a faint nod, calm despite the situation. "Once you're all clear, I'll follow with the source core." His tone sharpened. "If any of you stay behind, we'll all be buried here." Mu's breath hitched, her voice barely above a whisper. "Commander." Meanwhile, Hubong crouched down and slung the unconscious old man over his shoulders. He glanced back. He's right. Staying now only makes it harder for him. Turning to the rest of the team, he barked, "You heard the order. Full retreat. Now." Without hesitation, the group responded together, falling into formation and rushing toward the safer tunnel path. Behind them, the cave groaned, the icy walls cracking slightly under pressure. Kyan Yo-won stood firm, a glint of focus in his eyes as the frozen water roared behind the towering pillar he had created, the fate of all resting on his silent endurance. "Yes." Manu looked over her shoulder one last time, anxiety etched across her face. "Cult Commander, don't take long. Join us right after." Chan Yo-won gave her a brief nod and a small, steady smile. As the squad disappeared down the vibrating corridor, their footsteps faded into the earth's rumble. Chan Yo exhaled slowly. Alone now. No more distractions. We proceed. The view expanded to reveal the stunning scale of Chan Yo's feat, an entire surge of lava frozen mid-eruption, held in place by a towering crystalline wall of condensed earth chi. A temporary fortress against molten chaos. Yo-won asked quietly, "Nano, you're tracking the heat density, aren't you? With that much pressure behind it, how long can this wall stay intact?" Nano replied with clinical precision. "Structural hold. Less than 1 breath cycle. Recommendation: initiate extraction now." Yo-won's boots sparked with kinetic light as he began to float. That's enough. With a sudden burst of force, he launched himself ahead, wind trailing behind him. "Hold it for half a breath," he commanded the system. "Then begin release." He landed silently on the rim of a vast sinkhole. From its depths, vibrant golden light pulsed upward, bathing the stone walls in radiance. Kaiyo leaned forward, gaze narrowing. Could it be down there? Is that the artifact? He crouched low, preparing to descend, when his eyes widened. From deep within the pit, a swirling orb of radiant force erupted, hurling shockwaves of raw chi through the chamber. Light tore through the darkness, turning stone to glass. Chan Yo instinctively shielded his face with his arm. Then he saw it. Within the luminous sphere, a silhouette began to rise, levitating slowly like a ghost ascending from ancient slumber. The figure stepped through the blaze, pale as bone and wrapped in tattered grey cloth. His sunken eyes burned with wild fire, teeth bared in a manic grin. His voice was cracked, sharp like broken glass. "So it's you." Laughter followed, unhinged and echoing through the fractured cavern. The man pointed down at Chan Yo, madness twisting his expression. "Demon Shadow." His words rolled like thunder, resonating through the air. Everything grew still for a moment. Then, from above, the first crack split across the ice wall. The dam trembled. Yowan's eyes stayed fixed on the levitating stranger. From outside the story, a different voice cut in. Thanks for watching. If you like this episode, don't forget to like, follow, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Catch you in the next chapter.